Hey guys, I had a late mail call late on Saturday. It came in the regular post. It was from Jim Johnson, and he's in Carletta, California, and he sent what was a bit of a quandary. And it said within the package, I'll show you what I got, and I took it apart. But I had these 3 blocks, and then on there it says, without reading the letter, what is this? And the blocks had me. I didn't know whether they were packaging or whether they were part of the tool that he was trying to build, but between those 2 holes there, you had this, and you had this inserted in the holes here and here, with a block of wood spanning across them. Now, he said, what is this? And I'll show that to you from all directions. And I'll even get you in a little closer. And then this was also screwed down to it as well. And he said, don't open the letter, and there was another package in there. Don't open the package, don't open the letter. Can you figure out what this was? So I actually took it home and took it and sat there watching television with it in my lap. And every time I'd look down at it, I'd ponder what it was. So after 2 hours of watching a movie and pondering this thing, I gave up. And I opened his letter. So yes, he had me stumped. So Jim Johnson, I didn't know what it was, but he sent a sketch. Very nice hand-drawn sketch he sent. And there was a letter with it. And it is a brake die nose for my Dreisen Crump. Also known as a Chicago. He has the W31 brake, which is a 4-foot pan brake, same as mine. I haven't tried this in my machine, but I'm sure it'll fit. And what he's done, and what's kind of nice about it, is that you can move these to the center and actually cantilever the bar. This is a solid bar. You could cantilever the bar off to the side, so you could form a circle or a half circle that actually traps the die, and still be able to pull it up and slide your part off of the side. So you can cantilever it to the left or the right. So he's made a very nice die for that. And he's used a 7/8 bar. So it's gonna have, your sheet metal's gonna have a nice radius around there. And he sent, this is the apron die here that will come up and swing around it. I've got longer ones of these. I actually make some even smaller than this. But I've got some female dies, or some apron dies that I use for making very small returns. Yeah. So he sent that, and Jim, that's much appreciated, and he's asking if we can improve on this. Now, I've never made a radius die for my machine. I have made what is called a hatchet die for bending sheet metal in a complete square, and then the hatchet dies, they kind of overlap each other, and after you've completed the part, you pull the dies off, and then you can get your part out of there. So a hatchet die is something that I have made, but I've never made a radius die, and this looks good. I mean, we're going to take it over on the brake and give it a try and see how it goes. I'm not going to read his entire letter, but I'm going to read you the last sentence. Lastly, if this box and pan nose even touches that surface plate, you will get a thumbs down on all your future videos. Sincerely, Jim Johnson, Carletta, California. Jim, thanks for the radius die. I'm going to play with it a little bit. I do have some sheet metal bending videos planned, but nothing on storage yet. But I do have some planned. I'm going to be making a tool storage chest with drawers and sides and things like that out of sheet metal, and I think I might round the sides of the toolbox using this, or maybe round the top lid. I know you've all seen that, so this may come in handy for that. All right. Also, he sent a nice graph ruler, and it's clear, so you can lay it on top of your drawing and see where you're at. And it's got inch increments on it. So he says this is his favorite, so he sent that to me. So Jim, again, thank you, and we all look forward to using this in some future videos. All right, but as it stands now, that's Jim 1, stand 0. I did not guess what your part was, and I finally broke down and opened your letter. Well, we thought we'd try out this new nose bar, and if you look carefully at the piece, the apron die he sent is small, and I'm assuming he wants to run that up and build this exact part, bottom die to next, leave low. But it looks like he just plasma cut 3 sides, and then he's using that apron die to come up and just bend this, and he wants to leave all this flat, which on a pan brake like this is virtually impossible, and I'll show you why. I'm going to pull the apron die off of this now. And one thing about the D&Ks is they break the rule, no lefty loosey righty tighty. I don't know what the deal is with them, but they're all like that. So if you ever want to change out your apron die, tighten them up and they'll come right out. The apron die will just slip right out. All that is a piece of angle. And what you do to make them pretty universal is just trim down the backside. This is a piece of 1/4 inch 2x2. And if you trim down the backside on all your dies, you don't have to readjust the apron. You adjust the apron here and slide it up and down to get your apron die level with the bed. Now, changing that is a pain. So the more uniform you can make your apron dies, whether you can just drop in and go to work, the better off you are. And I keep a few dies down here. I've got some here's a piece of 3/16 that's milled down, and this is the actual bending portion. If I have to do a very small reverse return, you can make some very small pieces. I've got some very, in various lengths, you know. And the apron die is a lot like the upper, where you can just take apron dies and put them together and, you know, stack them up and, you know, do whatever you need to do. But I've got various lengths that I've made over the years. So yeah, so let's get this put away. And see how his apron die fits my machine here. That's pretty good. All right, it's a good height. What you're looking for here is when the die drops in, you don't want it sitting proud. And you know, if it does sit proud, what you have to do is come here and loosen these bolts and these bolts, and there's jacking screws on the bottom, and you raise and lower your apron until this is flat. So it's good practice to have your dies cut or trimmed down to the back so they all drop in the same. No muss, no fuss. I don't know, I guess we could just kind of work out here in the middle. And I'm just going to put this right even with one of my pinch screws here. I'm not going to go super tight. I'm just going to slightly snug this here and here. Everything else I'll just leave loose. Now what we're going to do is we're going to see how this fits our upper. And I think we should probably use this one and this one here. Wouldn't you know it, I don't have an all 16ths over here. Let me go grab an adjustable. And I always give my wing nuts just a little bit of a bite. It's a die profile there. So not too hard to make. You can make your own out of this. Wow, I hear a little dog. It might be Ted. Okay, let's see how we line up here, see how our crush is and all that, see what we need to do to adjust the machine. And probably pretty good. Looks about right. Oh, our crush is heavy. Yeah, I'm going to bend those fingers. They're coming down hard. All right, let me adjust that. You adjust the crush on the machine here and here. This is how far down you're coming, clamping down on your part. Yeah, you want to you worry about over clamping, especially if you're using small fingers. You'll actually bend the actual fingers themselves. If you're using a big fat daddy, you can clamp down pretty hard and not really worry about it. And it's all right. What we can do here, and this is going to be the first type of bend you're going to do. You're going to get squared up to the machine, pull down, and it's going to give you a pretty nice radius. We're hitting around that nose. All right, and I'm going to show you that radius there. Feels like I need to back my bar up just a bit. I'm not quite getting 90. Bumping in here. So I need to pull the head back, which is another adjustment on the machine. But I'll show you what type of radius you're getting there. And this would be used, maybe like the top of a toolbox where you want the toolbox lid rounded, and then you'd put a hem here, which is just a simple fold over. So that makes a very nice radius. Let me readjust the machine here. I'm going to back it up just a little bit and see if we can get a little more radius out of this thing. Okay, that's going to get you past 90 there. So let's see what that does. Well, I'm just going to go back in and do the same bend and see how much farther we get. Quite a bit farther. And then pull out a little bit, repeat. Now we're getting to a point where we're going to start trapping the bar. And the only way you're going to be able to get it out is with a cantilever. And I'm going to show you how to do the cantilever. Alright, we're just now to the point where we're about 180 degrees there. And I'll show you that. So you're almost 180 degrees, and just with a little hand tweak, you can get it right down to where you want it. So, and that's a nice radius. Any more than that, we're going to trap the bar. So the way he's got it set up, we've got holes here. So I'm going to move this over to here and then move the whole schmear over and cantilever the bar where we can still get our part off to the side. So let's do that. Okay, so I flip the bar around a little bit, and now you can see what I was talking about. I've got the bar cantilevered over here. But I've still got a lot of strength up close to the die. So let's try bending another piece and wrapping around that bar a little farther. Okay, and I'm back with my piece of scrap. And we'll just start off. And here's another interesting point. If you got your first off, I noticed on your sample piece you've got a hem. You could put a die section in the apron here and do your hemming right here, as long as your parts are narrow enough. So you could do your first operation, which would be the hem here, bring it over here, do your work, your second op here. If you got a third op, you got a little more room over here to work a little more. So we're just gonna kind of square up, eyeball. I'm gonna go about 2/3 of that apron die. And hopefully I get a good pinch on this thing. Yeah, it feels like it pinched down pretty good. And I'm just going to give that a gentle roll. And looks like we got that up to about 90. We'll pull it out again. Square up again. One more time. Now, if you had a really big one to do and a very long radius like this that you needed to complete, it could be done with a very long bar, but it needs to be supported at both ends. And when your work is complete, you have to take the bar apart to get it off. So actually, that's pretty slick that the bar is can be disassembled. All right, let's do a 3/4 round here. And see, now we're to the point where we can't slide out anymore. We can come off this way, but we've gotten to a point where we've completely captured our part. So let's see if we can pull those around and make them touch. I'm just going to take the slack out of it in this direction, hold it square, pinch down, and the rest of this is going to be just little baby steps from here on out. Oh yeah, you're not going to get any more out of that. Yeah, that's about all you're going to get. I'm not gaining any ground on that thing at all. I'm done. So that's about the most you're going to get out of that round over. 180 degrees plus, I don't know, you probably got it around to 200 degrees or so. So your sample piece shows you coming up off of what looks like a 3-sided cut. Looks like a 3-sided plasma cut here. And very thin material, it's either 20 or 22 gauge. And bringing up your center up into this cavity in the middle. That. And how you formed this flat without another die that came up and over to grab it and roll it the rest of the way around is beyond me. You would need a special die to change your op. After you get this started, your first op would be your hem, second op would be your break. Third op would be a 180 degree bend. We already know you can go, with this die, you can rotate 180 degrees around, but then this part would be sticking out like, I'm just going to tweak it flat. This part would be sticking out like this. This is thin so you can play with it. It's kind of nice. With this setup right here, I know it's kind of crude, but this will get you to here. And to get that last hook in there, you're going to need a die that comes up and over and possibly even grabs a hold of this with a slot that gets a hold of that and rolls it around the rest of the way. So it would be a very oddly shaped die. And this is what you're showing. I believe that's what you're intending right here is a die that comes up and over and indexes on this surface. What you need to do is ask yourself, how many of these do you really need to make? Are we talking hundreds, thousands? Is it worth taking the time to make the tooling to do that? It could be done. And your question mark shaped die looks like it could work, but it would be it would take a little time to you know, dial it in and get the geometry on it right. But yeah, I see what you're talking about now. Send me an email and we'll talk about it a little more. Jim, thanks for the fun and thanks for the radius bar. Had a good time with it. The same day, as well, Saturday, I had filled out a little form online. A viewer had sent me a link to a company. It was called Anchor Lube, and they make machine shop lubricants and stuff. This is Anchor Lube G771. And all you got to do is plug in your email address and they'll send you a sample. So I've got a sample of this metal cutting fluid, all-purpose metal cutting compound, Anchor Chemical Company. If you go to their website, which is www.anchorlube.com, you can just by putting your name, address, and email address on there, they've got a good confidentiality. They're not selling your name to anybody else. And my spam level hasn't increased, so just fill that out and they'll actually mail you a free sample and see if you like it. Now it's very thick. It's green, and it's, oh my gosh, it's like the consistency of that. It's just some really thick, gooey stuff. Has absolutely no odor, so we're gonna try it out and see if we like this stuff. But get your free sample. I'm sure with all the viewers, they may or may not like the advertisement. We're gonna flood them with requests for free cutting fluid, and we'll go probably between all of us. We'll probably go through a 55-gallon drum of this stuff. Okay, so here's a showdown. This is that Anchor Lube that I got as a free sample, made by Anchor Chemical Corporation. This is the free sample they sent me. It says the future in multi-purpose hand-applied lubricants, offering a new level of tool life along with the cleanliness of a water/soap-based compound. This semi-paste performs well in all metals, aluminums, especially in stainless steels and other exotic metals. It's an exceedingly clean lubricant that contains no petroleum, chlorine, or sulfur, and maintains a clean work area with no oily surfaces. So we're going to give it a showdown against the old Relton Rapid Tap. I have 2 drill bits here, and I have a piece of aluminum, and in metric British standards that would be aluminium. So I got 2 1/4-inch bits, both with a fresh grind. We're going to twist up the drill pretty fast and bury them into this thing. Just totally dive into this stuff. One with the Rapid Tap and one with the Anchor Lube. So let's have a little fun. What do you think? Is that a good speed? That's a good speed. I'm just going to give it a quick spot here first. Put a little bit of my Rapid Tap on there, not very much, just out on the tip, and just to fill that little cup. And then we're going to just push like a son of a bitch all the way through and just let it bury itself. And take a look and see if we got a built-up edge. Nothing I can't scrape off with my fingernail. It just pops right off. And same here. That built-up edge just pops right off. Okay. So that's the Relton Rapid Tap that we all know and love. So let's do it again. Now let's do it on the same side. Let's do it again with the Anchor Lube. And we're going to get a, yeah, that's my easiest. Okay, so we're going to try this one here. Same thing. Get out over here. Lock, lock, tighten. All right. And this one we're just going to spot again. And wow, I didn't cut the lid off. This stuff is really blobby. Look at that. All right, I'm going to put just about the same amount as I did the Relton. Put a little bit on the bit. Okay. Same drill. See what that looks like. Peeled off nice. There's your chips. And no built up edge. No, pretty clean. No built up edge on the tip, and it removed the material nicely. Has absolutely no odor. All right, let's try some steel. Here's a piece of shaft drop off. And so we got some steel there. And we're going to take drill bit 1 again. It's the first one that we use the Relton on. We're going to stay with the Relton here. And get set up here. And we're going to lock, lock, and lock. Okay. Same speed. I'm going to be merciless. I'm not slowing anything down. And again, I'm going to just bury it pretty damn hard and not re-oil it on the way down. As long as I see a chip coming up, I'm just going to keep going. Alright, she's going for bare. I felt that she was binding up on the way out. Guaranteed that sucker's hot. Tip's not terrible. I don't see it with an edge rolled over. Of course, I do not have my glasses on. Okay. Let's give the other one the same punishment. Just gonna back this up a little here. Take drill bit number 2. And we're going to do the same thing here. Just going to give it a little spot. Come in here and put a little bit of my, I finally cut a hole in my thing. In my tip there. Ooh, well, I got a lot of that stuff on there. Okay, well, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. A little smoky. Still clearing a chip. Still diving good. I don't feel anything binding up. Just diving down good. And there, she bound up there. That's what that looks like. And once again, I know that tip is very hot, but I don't see anything rolled over there. I'm letting you look right down that, right down this edge right here. So the Anchor Lube is okay. Still no odor. You know, the Relton, the Rapid Tap. You know, as soon as you start warming up, you get that shop de jour, the odor de jour going in the shop. But still, even after this stuff's smoking, absolutely no odor. So Anchor Lube, worth maybe a little closer look. Get your free sample. Thanks for watching. but and I'm not affiliated with them in any way, and I have no idea how it's going to work. But if you want to give it a shot, go to anchorlube.com and check them out. All right, but that was my mail call over the last few days. And again, Jim, thanks for the nose bar. We'll give it a shot. Thanks. Bye.